Hello and welcome to the Daily Mill for Thursday the 11th of September 2025. Today's Millwall news, we shall start off with this. It's from Alex Neil. I think all of the stories today are from Alex Neil. Mill boss calls deadline day loan signing good business. This is from southernnews.co.uk. Alex Neil called the loan signing of midfielder Will Smallbone good business. The 25-year-old completed his move from Southampton late on transfer deadline day, becoming the Lions' 11th addition of the summer. My goodness, 11th. Smallbone will spend the rest of the season at Den, strengthening the midfield after George Saville joined Luton Town and Ryan Wintle returned to Cardiff City. The club also signed Derek Mazu-Sakho from League Two side Rodez and Masemu Alawongo on a free, further reinforcing the position. Smallbone came through the Saints Academy and broke into the first team in the 23-24 campaign, making 43 league appearances and scoring 6 goals as Southampton were promoted via the playoffs. He made 18 top-flight appearances last season, scoring once. The Irish international has 13 caps for his country and previously played under Neil, joining Stoke City on loan in the 22-23 season and starting 38 league games. Neil thinks he'll be an effective addition. "Oh, you knew you were bringing him in, that he had a bit of a calf issue," Neil told Incident. "But I think at that stage, though, we wanted to try and make sure we got the relevant quality in, and if that meant that, maybe it wasn't going to be available immediately, we still deem it necessary that it was good business, and he will certainly be able to help us. I've worked with Will before, he's a good player, he's had experience with Southampton at that level, obviously moved up to the Premier League, which is a real tough level for anybody. And I think what he brings is a know-how, and he can play a variety of positions in the middle of the pitch. And he's got good legs, and he looks after the ball, and he's certainly be a good signing for us. And I'm hoping going forward, Asked if he knows when Smallbone will be available to play, Neil said, "Not actually, no, but so I don't want to put a time frame on that, but, we'll just need to see how it goes, by the way." So there you go. That's the thing, He might be injured today, but he'll be fit tomorrow, so, don't worry about him. And again from the southernnews.co.uk, and again from Alex Neil. So Alex Neil discusses how Mill's 2 European signings have settled in and hints at first-team opportunities for young French midfielder. There he is. Hello, Derek. Alex Neil discussed how summer's signing Derek Mazu-Sakho has settled so far and suggested he could be in line for minutes soon amid a backlog of injuries. The Lions signed the midfielder from League Two side Rodez for an undisclosed fee in the final days of the summer window, with Mazu-Sakho agreeing a long-term deal. Well, the fee was rumoured to be 500k, so that was the rumour. The 20-year-old came through Troyes Academy, making 13 appearances following his first team debut in 2021, before joining Rodez in 2024. The former French under-18 international made 31 League Two appearances in his sole full season at the club, 9 of which were starts. Neil thinks the length of Mazu-Sakho's adjustment period will be up to the player. That'll be really based on him. It'll depend how he does, how quickly he settles, how much he can learn the language. He's very restricted in terms of communication at the moment, so that's something we're going to have to try and help him with, and try and get him up to speed as quickly as we can. But he seems to be able to take messages on board when we're doing that sort of tactical board stuff and describing different elements of what we want him to do. He seems to pick that up pretty quickly. Asked when he might get first team opportunities, Neil said, "I feel at the moment, while we're stretched in certain areas of the team as far as maybe injuries are going, he might get his opportunities sooner rather than later, so we'll just have to wait and see on that." Turnhout Ballo was Mill's other European signing, joining from Austrian Bundesliga side Wolfsberger on loan, with Mill possessing the option to make that move permanent. The winger previously spent time at Bayer Leverkusen and Chelsea's academy before joining Wolfsberger on loan, racking up 39 goal contributions in 85 league appearances across 3 seasons. Ballo earned his first Austria cap in June, playing the second half as they beat Gibraltar 4-0 in a World Cup qualifying match. Neil was asked by the news then how his adjustment back to English football is going. "I think time will tell, really. It's going to be a part of the game today, just to get him a little bit more exposure, as will Derek, to get him used to the speed of the game." And he's talking about the under-21 game on Tuesday against Huddersfield, 2-0. They both played. If you want to watch it, full match replay on Mill TV Plus. So get in on that. But they won't play so long that I rule them out of the weekend. They'll just play enough to try and get them more minutes in the match experience rather than training. We'll give them enough so they can train Thursday with the squad and get themselves prepared for the weekend. Now here's the thing. Mazu Sakho, I thought he played the full... Did he not play the full game? He played most of it. Ballo, I think, went off at half-time. He went off certainly early, so that may suggest Ballo might be involved at the weekend. So we'll see how that goes. That should be fun. That's the thing, the thing with like the foreign lads. Just because someone can't speak English doesn't mean they can't understand it. You know what I mean? Like, they can understand it when it's spoken to them, but they can't articulate it and then speak English. From that. There are people, varying various degrees of things, Like, I think, was it Ranieri, was it? Like, he could understand English, he just didn't want to speak it in press conferences, I believe. I think it was him. Someone else as well. They understand it. It's just they don't want to speak English because they're very, I don't say pompous, but, they're very proud and they don't want to sound like a moron in a foreign language when they're a genius in their own language, you know what I mean? That kind of thing. So, doesn't just because they can't speak a language doesn't mean they don't understand it. Especially, English is ubiquitous, around the world these days. Although the French, they do try to force their own language through at times. Now, again, a trio from Alex Neil and southernnews.co.uk. Alex Neil talking about the game on Saturday. He's a little bit nervous. Oh, he's a wee bit nervous, by the way. Alex Neil admits Mill's unbeaten record against Charlton makes him a little bit nervous, but Surrey remain confident for Saturday. Alex Neil admitted Mill's excellent record against Charlton makes him a little bit nervous, but said his side were confident going into a clash with them this Saturday. The Lions take on the Addicts at the Valley this weekend for the first time in 5 years, after Charlton were relegated to League One in 2020. Mill have not lost to Charlton since 1996, winning 4 out of their last 5 encounters. And Neil's side have won all 3 of their away games this season. We did lose to them in a friendly, did we not? I think we did, but obviously that doesn't count, does it? I'm always a little bit nervous when you got a great record against teams because you don't want to be the guy that doesn't win that next game. We're confident going into the match, but it's been well documented that we're not at full strength. But it doesn't mean that we can't go there and get a result. We've had some games so far this season that we've had to go into, and we managed to get a result, and we managed to put in a good performance. So I don't think this one's going to be any different for us. So we'll try and do the same. Asked if any players who are injured might be available for the match, Neil said, "We'll see how we go for the remainder this week in terms of training. A few of the lads are back in, but there are a few back on the grass now, and there's some good positive signs for them." I think he's talking about Langstaff. Whether this week is maybe a bit too soon for some of them, we'll have to see, certainly tomorrow. As I say, we're focused on the lads who are available and fit for this game, and they'll be the ones that will be trying to get us points, and that's where our attention goes at the moment. So, there you go. Are you nervous? I think I am a little bit nervous, This game is just another game for us, but it means the world to Charlton. And, the little wee man, the little Welsh midget he's had 2 weeks to focus on this, and I'm sure he's going to have something up his sleeve. I reckon, we'll see, but I am a little bit nervous, I will tell you this. Now, moving on from Millwall specifically and Millwall in general. Now, we've had a little bit of trouble finishing in the playoff places. Now, we might have a little bit of help on the way in order to do that. So not in time for this season, maybe next season, maybe the season after, who knows? Someone has suggested and I think they might vote on it. I think they have to get permission from the FA for some reason. I don't know why, or maybe the Premier League. But they're going to extend the playoffs, and they're going to do it's proposed that they're going to do what the conference do, and I think the other non-league divisions do, is that so you'll have the champions, and then the next two teams, second, third, they'll go through automatically to playoff semi-final, and then you get fourth, fifth, sixth, and seventh. They'll play against each other in a quarter-final per se, and the winners of them will go through to the semi-final against the second and third teams in the league division, and then the winners of those go through to the final. That's what they do, and it may be now. It might be two-legged, but in the divisions, in the conference and in the other non-league divisions, when they do let's call them the quarterfinals, they are generally one-off games. Because I don't think they have the space in the schedule to do a two-legged game. Will they do that for the championship? I don't know. And here's the thing: will it just be for the championship, or will they do it for League 1 and League 2 as well? I don't know. But yeah, so EFL in talks over a radical championship shake-up which could change promotion rules. And this is from mirror.co.uk, but it's on other platforms as well. Executives of clubs in the championship have been approached over a potential rule change which could see changes made to the competition's end-of-season promotion playoffs. The championship could expand its playoffs from 4 teams to 6 as part of a radical EFL shake-up. It would mark the first change to the system in more than 30 years, potentially giving teams which finish as low as 8th, hey, that's us, a chance to earn promotion. If approved, the amendment would see the championship follow the example of Italy's second tier, Serie B. There, the teams finishing between 5th and 8th currently enter play-in round, with the winners of those ties progressing to a two-legged semi-final against the teams in 3rd and 4th. So again, that's the one-off game. It's a one-off game. Then the playoff semi-finals are two-legged. Will the Premiership approve this, seeing as the teams that go up are absolute fucking dog shit? So you're going to have the team finishing 8th in the division could be in the Premier League. Nah, you think, well, yeah, they'll love that because they'll beat the shit out of them every week. But would they though? It's a waste of time for them. Why are we playing? Why are we playing this shit team in our division? Why are they here? According to The Athletic, the idea was presented by Preston North End Chief Executive Peter Ridsdale at an earlier September meeting and echoes earlier suggestions put forward by former Crystal Palace and Bristol City Chief Executive Phil Alexander more than 20 years ago. The same publication indicates that it was very well received among executives informed of the proposals. It's already in motion. Yeah, here we go. Look, the National League already uses a 16 playoff system, though all of its matches are one-legged affairs. Ooh, under Ridsdale's proposals, the semis will continue to be played over 2 legs ahead of a one-off final at Wembley. So there you go. So the quarterfinals, as we will call them, they would be one-off games, and if you finish 8th, you don't get a home advantage. The teams finishing 5th and 6th would get home advantage, and the teams finish 7th, 8th would be away. So you have to battle through that, I imagine, and then you go into a two-legged semi-final. If the new idea is put into place, the championship would see the change first. However, there is also said to be an openness to making an expansion for League 1 and League 2. Last season's championship playoff winners Sunderland finished 14 points behind third place Sheffield United in the regular season. The team in 8th, Millwall, were further 10 adrift. In recent seasons, the teams in 7th and 8th have often been just one win away from the points tally of the 6th place finisher. There have been notable exceptions though. Back in 21-22, 5 points separated 6th place Luton and Middlesbrough in 7th, while the previous season saw a 7-point gap between 6th and 7th. The case has been made that the new proposals could reduce the number of dead rubber games during the season. Oh, yeah, I imagine so, yeah. The Championship has held end-of-season playoffs since 1987. What happened in that year? Exactly. In its previous guise as the old second division, and between 92 and 2004 the first division. In 1990 the format changed from a two-legged final to a one-off game, though playoff systems in countries such as Italy and Spain still play two-legged finals. If the proposed expansion is to come into force in England, it will need the approval of the FA board. The Athletic reports that it is some way off this stage right now. The EFL yet to put in place a formal vote of its own, but the publication points to an anonymous Championship chiefs who it says support the plan. Sounds good to me. I mean, you know. And then, once it goes through, we'll finish 9th. And we'll miss out on we just missed out on the playoffs by finishing 9th. Oh Lord. Now, moving to this playoff planning news. From playoffs to planning news. Now, this is from Lewisham. Planning.lewisham.gov.uk. And this is in regard to Calmont Road. This is demolition of existing single-storey changing rooms and replacement with two-storey changing rooms and offices at Millwall Football Club, Calmont Road, BR1 4BZ. So this is the application. I covered it on the channel before. I'm not going to go through it now. But it has been approved on the 10th. So yesterday. Mr. McGorrigan. What a name. The most Scottish man in the world. McGorrigan. Permission for development. Town and Country Planning Act 1990. Notice is hereby given that the London Borough of Lewisham, in pursuance of its powers as local planning authority under the above acts, regulations, rules and orders made thereunder, permits the development referred to in the schedule below, subject to conditions set out therein and in accordance with the application and plan submitted, save in so far as may otherwise be required by the said conditions. Hear, hear. Your attention is drawn to the statement of applicant's rights endorsed over leaf. And then there's some other bullshit there. So this is the, that's the number, that's the development, proved. You got to follow the plans that you submitted. It's a temporary structure, hereby permitted, shall be removed and the land restored on or before the 10th of September 2030, in accordance with a scheme of work to be submitted to and approved in writing by the local planning authority. So they got their permission, but again, it's temporary. They've been given 5 years. So someone should set an alarm on their phone for 5 years' time. Now, they do hope to have West Kingsdown open by then. So, hopefully, it's not going to be a problem in 2030. And there's some other shit here about biodiversity, of course, all of that. Now, the applicant is advised that the temporary building approved under application DC 21121283 has exceeded the time limit as laid out by condition 1, which reads, the temporary structure hereby permitted shall be removed and the land restored on or before the 27th of May 2025 in accordance with a scheme of work to be submitted to and approved in writing by the local planning authority. Authors recommend that the applicant should seek to resolve this matter as soon as possible. And then there's some other stuff there. So, this isn't connected to that. So they have to remove the porter cabins, whatever they were, that were there before. This isn't going to help the players, building work at the training ground. And they've literally been told by the council, look, you're late. You should have dealt with this in May 2025. But they have got permission to build what they built there. But then what do they do now? Because they have to remove what stuff that was put in 5 years ago. Uh-oh. So, that should be fun. But for the double-decker thing, we can have a look at it, I think, if it loads. I'll show you again. I covered it in the video ages ago. Is it this one? Ah, yeah, this is the one. So that's what they're doing, this little outer house building. They're knocking that down. I think they've already done it, actually. And they're just asking for permission after they've done it. This is what they're building. That's what it looks like. So that's what they've done. And they've got permission to do that. And it's there now until 2030. And then they have to remove it. But they've been told the other stuff that was there, which I assume is where you get the cross if you go up, that has to be removed. So there you go. Planning news. And on that note, thank you for watching and goodbye.